Hello, my dear friends. Thank you for being here with me tonight. If you found this video, it is not by accident. My name doesn't matter as much as my testimony does, and what I am about to share with you comes from a place I once thought I could never escape. I greet you with a heart that has been broken, rebuilt, and redeemed. As the final hours of December 31st approach, I feel an urgency pressing on my spirit. I speak not as someone guessing, but as a woman who lived in darkness, who prayed prayers that changed souls, and who now stands free to warn you with truth, compassion, and love before the clock strikes midnight. I was once a devoted Satanist, deeply initiated, disciplined, and trained to understand spiritual timings, portals, and covenants. December 31st was never just a celebration to us. It was a night of power, alignment, and sealing. While the world counted down with fireworks and laughter, we were taught that millions unknowingly opened their spirits through careless words, drunken vows, and mockery of God. I participated in rituals meant to claim ground for the coming year. I believed I was strong, enlightened, and untouchable, but I was deceived. Tonight, I speak because I know exactly what the enemy hopes you will not pray. There is one moment every year that was marked in red in our calendars, and that moment is the final minutes before midnight on December 31st. We were trained that spoken words at that time carried unusual authority because people's guards were down. Promises like, "This will be my year no matter what," or "I'll do anything to succeed," were treated as open doors. We listened, we mocked, and we claimed. I am telling you this because I love you enough to expose it. You may think your words are harmless, but the spiritual realm treats them as contracts when spoken without wisdom. I remember the last New Year's Eve before I escaped. I was exhausted, empty, and terrified, though I hid it well. That night, something inside me cracked. As rituals began, I felt a presence that was not the darkness I knew. It was light, heavy, holy, and terrifying in a way darkness never was. I ran, I cried, I begged. That was the first real prayer I ever prayed, and it was not polished or powerful, but it was honest. That prayer saved my life, and tonight I want to give you a prayer that protects yours. Before midnight, there is a prayer you must pray, not in fear, but in authority. This prayer is not about superstition or religion. It is about alignment. When I left Satanism, I learned that darkness only has power where permission is given. This prayer revokes permissions spoken knowingly and unknowingly. It closes doors open through words, agreements, bloodlines, and ignorance. I know some of you are skeptical, but I ask you to listen with an open heart. I once mocked prayers like this until I learned how effective they truly are. When you pray, you must be intentional. Do not rush it between celebrations. Step away if you must. Speak aloud because the spiritual Realm responds to spoken authority. Say that you renounce every word spoken over your life that does not align with God's will. Cancel every vow made in pain, pride, desperation, or ignorance. When I first prayed this, I felt chains fall. I felt watched, then released. This is not emotional imagination. It is spiritual law. Darkness flees when permission is removed and truth is declared. I need you to understand something deeply personal. Many of the attacks people experience in January are not random. Depression, sudden loss, confusion, and fear often trace back to unresolved spiritual doors left open on December 31st. I was trained to exploit that vulnerability. I say this with shame and responsibility. That is why this prayer matters so much. It is not about begging God to bless you. It is about standing and declaring that your life is not available for manipulation or theft. As midnight approaches, thank God for bringing you through the year, even if it was painful. Gratitude disrupts darkness. We hated grateful hearts because they were difficult to influence. Then ask God to cleanse your spirit, mind, and body from everything attached to the past year. Speak it clearly. Ask for the blood of Jesus to cover your coming year, your decisions, your relationships, and your home. I know this language may be new to some of you, but I have seen the fear it causes in the enemy's camp. I want to be very clear here. This is not about fear of Satan or obsession with darkness. The greatest mistake I made was thinking Satan was powerful enough to replace God. He is not. He is a liar who survives on ignorance and silence. This prayer exposes him. When you pray, you are not weak. You are exercising authority. You may not even realize you have. I lost everything believing a lie. I gained everything when I surrendered to truth. Some of you watching feel an unusual heaviness right now. That is not coincidence. When truth is spoken, resistance rises. Do not turn this video off. Breathe. Stay. You are not being threatened. You are being invited into freedom. I wish someone had warned me earlier. I wish someone had loved me enough to speak plainly. That is why I am here, even though telling this story costs me comfort and safety. As a former Satanist, I tell you this without exaggeration. The enemy fears families who pray together before midnight. Even a simple prayer spoken sincerely disrupts plans laid months in advance. We were taught to avoid homes filled with peace and humility. Pride opens doors, humility shuts them. If you are with others tonight, invite them gently. Do not argue. Just pray. Heaven responds to unity faster than you think. After you pray, enter the new year quietly for a moment. Do not rush to noise. Listen. Ask God to order your steps. When I did this for the first time, I felt direction instead of chaos. I slept without fear for the first New Year's day of my life. That peace was unfamiliar, but it was real. It was the beginning of healing I never thought possible. I know many will mock this message. I understand because I used to do the same. But I also know that some of you are here because you are searching, hurting, or sensing that something deeper is happening in the world. You are not crazy. The spiritual realm is real, and so is protection. You do not need special knowledge or status. You need sincerity, humility, and courage. If you only remember one thing from my story, let it be this: words matter, timing matters, and alignment matters. Do not let this night pass without covering your life in prayer. You don't need fancy language. Speak from your heart. God listens. Darkness listens too, and it has no choice but to leave when truth is spoken in authority. I am not proud of my past, but I am grateful for my freedom. Every time I share this, I feel the weight of responsibility and the joy of obedience. If even one person is protected tonight, it is worth it. I stand as living proof that no one is too deep, too lost, or too marked to be redeemed. As the clock ticks closer to midnight, I urge you to pause. Turn down the noise. Place your hand over your heart. Pray. Close doors. Speak life. Choose light. This moment is more powerful than you realize, and you still have time. Thank you for listening to my story, for trusting me with your time, and for opening your heart. If this message helped you, share it with someone you love. You may be the warning that saves them. I am praying for you, for your protection, and for a year covered in truth, peace, and divine purpose.